on, please. What am I missing?
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down Disney and Pixar scenes that are the most shockingly realistic or simply downright grim. Beware the spoilers ahead, as we'll be talking about some big twists from these films.
You get that diamond or you'll never see daylight again!
Number 50, Poison Shop, Ratatouille. To teach his son a lesson in nature, Django takes his son on a trip. The destination? A pest control shop, decorated with dead rats.
Take a good long look, Remy. Now this is what happens when a rat gets a little too comfortable around humans.
The moment shocks Remy and the viewer back into reality, reminding us of what happens to pests found in the kitchen. The rats hanging lifelessly by the neck is a pretty horrifying image. It's especially dark given how much the film humanizes the rodents.
We look out for our own kind, Remy. When all is said and done, we're all we've got.
However, Remy does prove that nature can be overcome with a bit of understanding, but we can't blame Django for being so afraid of humans.
I want to make things. I want to add something to this world.
You're talking like a human.
Who are not as bad as you say.
Oh yeah? What makes you so sure?
Number 49, Pedro's Death, Encanto. Disney is not afraid of depicting familial loss. In this heartbreaking montage, we see Abuela Alma's backstory firsthand. After falling in love with Pedro Madrigal, the two get married and have children. Then tragedy strikes when the family is forced to flee their village.
And though many joined us, hoping to find a new home, we could not escape the dangers.
To give them a chance to survive, Pedro makes the ultimate sacrifice. We don't actually see the death, but Alma's reaction is more devastating than anything we could be shown.
No se aguante más, hay que crecer, aparte y volver, hacia adelante seguirás, vienen milagros.
Her grief feels raw, unembellished, and profoundly human. In that moment, we also see the roots of her strained relationship with her children. Few Disney films portray the lasting effects of grief with such realism.
And I was so afraid to lose it that I lost sight of who our miracle was for.
Number 48, Joy's Lament, Inside Out 2. Pixar is known for being accessible to both children and adults. However, this moment in particular feels like it's for older viewers, and not because it's a cheeky innuendo. When Joy fails to save Riley from anxiety, she hits her rock bottom.
Joy. So, what do we do now? I don't know.
She becomes so discouraged that she wonders if becoming less happy is just what happens when you get older. The thought stings because it's painfully true.
Maybe this is what happens when you grow up. You feel less joy.
As life gets harder, even as adults we can wrestle with self-doubt, shame, and the fear that happiness is slipping away. The film does end on a positive note, but there's no doubt that this moment stuck with viewers.
Riley will never be herself if we don't get this back to headquarters. Fast.
Number 47, Poor Bartholomew, The Great Mouse Detective. While it's not the most cherished Disney film, The Great Mouse Detective has some memorable moments. The peril got surprisingly dark at times, especially for a tale about talking mice.
Two ratigans, the world's greatest rat.
One scene specifically stands out, Ratigan executing one of his own henchmen. For the small offense of calling him a rat, poor Bartholomew is fed to Felicia, Ratigan's monstrous cat.
You know what happens when someone upsets me.
The punishment plays out slowly as the other minions are forced to watch him be devoured. In a twisted way, Bartholomew's drunken state might have been a small blessing. At least he was unaware of what was about to happen.
Two Ratigan, the world's greatest.
Number 46, Durant unmasks the Cygnus, the black hole. Though the moment doesn't last long, it's enough to give kids nightmares. While aboard the mysterious ship the Cygnus, Dr. Alex Durant learns a horrifying truth. The ship's drones are not machines at all, but lobotomized crew members courtesy of Dr. Hans Reinhardt.
He would be dead by now. They all would be dead. It was the only way to keep them alive.
It's a chilling twist that feels straight out of the Twilight Zone. Before Durant can act, the robot Maximilian brutally kills him. Following up a gruesome twist with the screams of a man being shredded to death was certainly a bold choice. If this is what passed for a PG movie back in the day, we are glad the PG-13 rating was created.
You shouldn't have done that! He was a good man.
Number 45, Travis puts down Old Yeller. Old Yeller. Even when Disney deals with heavy subjects, their stories are still full of magic and wonder. This 1957 film, however, has no such elements. Based on the novel of the same name, Old Yeller is infamous for its devastating conclusion. When the family Labrador contracts rabies, the teenage Travis decides to end his suffering. We get that 19th century America didn't have vet clinics for this kind of thing, but that doesn't make it any less disturbing.
You know we've got to do it.
I know, Mama. He was my dog. I'll do it.
No kid should have to use a shotgun in this manner, and the sight alone might keep children up at night. We do not recommend this for your family's next Disney marathon. Number 44, Runard's Scheme, Frozen 2. This sequel raised the stakes and set a dark path for the Snow Queen. As Elsa uncovers the source of her powers, she also finds the truth about her grandfather Runard. Once revered as a noble king, he's revealed to be a bitter tyrant who despised Northuldra, the magical tribe of Elsa and Anna's mother Iduna.
Too entitled. It makes them think they can defy the will of a king.
That is not what magic does. That's just your fear. Fear is what can't be trusted.
To weaken them, he ordered a dam's construction in their homeland and killed their leader. This ignited an Arendelle-Northuldra conflict that would last decades.
King Runard, the dam isn't strengthening our waters. It's hurting the forest. It's cutting off the north.
Let's not discuss this here. Let's meet on the fjord, have tea, find a solution.
Elsa learning that she came from a twisted despot was a shocking twist. Her freezing solid only moments after made for an even bleaker turn of events. Number 43, Sykes on the Tracks, Oliver and Company. This Oliver Twist adaptation presents Bill Sykes as a menacing figure. His hulking frame and cruel personality made for a convincing threat.
You've got 12 hours. And Fagin, this is your last chance.
His later defeat was also fittingly harsh and realistic. In the final chase through the subway tunnels, his dogs, Roscoe and DeSoto, are electrocuted on the rails. It's unsettling to see such brutality inflicted on an animal, even in animation. Sykes follows moments after when he collides with an oncoming train. The scene isn't bloody, but the detail of his pupils shrinking in terror just before impact leaves us with chills. Number 42, Penny's Cave Search, The Rescuers. You might expect a movie about talking critters to lean on whimsy and lighthearted gags. Yet The Rescuers delivers something darker.
That little brat has escaped again! Nero, Brutus, bring her back, boys.
The main characters, Bianca and Bernard, are not on a fun quest to find treasure. They're just trying to rescue Penny, a lonely orphan who was kidnapped by the sinister Madame Medusa and her hapless partner Snoops. Kidnapping alone is a startling premise for a Disney film, but the story goes further. Penny is later forced into a flooding cave to search for a diamond.
Get down there and find the big diamond, or you will never see that teddy again!
All right.
With the claustrophobic tunnels and rising waters, the sequence feels less like a family adventure and more like a child's nightmare.
The water's coming in! Please!
Number 41, Ursula's Unfortunate Souls, The Little Mermaid. You thought this classic was all about singing crabs and dancing fish? Think again. Early on, we learn that the sea witch Ursula takes pleasure in punishing clients who couldn't pay her price. So what does she do? Well, she turns them into withered polyps and puts them in her garden, of course. The little creatures adorn her lair, helplessly writhing in their new forms.
Come in, my child.
It's equal parts grotesque and tragic, especially when you remember that they used to be merpeople who just wanted to fulfill their dreams.
The contract's legal, binding, and completely unbreakable, even for you.
Nothing says Disney fun like a cave full of trapped and tortured souls. Number 40, Kronos Unveiled, The Incredibles. Syndrome may act like a Saturday morning bad guy, but beneath the banter, he is one of Pixar's darkest characters. We learn the scope of his villainy when Bob Parr, aka Mr. Incredible, slips into his lair and uncovers some files. One by one, names of heroes flick by, each marked as terminated. The realization sets in for Bob. Syndrome has systematically killed dozens of superheroes. The dread of this moment hits hard as both the hero and viewer realize the scale of his plans. It's also a bitter payoff to an earlier scene when Bob quietly wondered what happened to his missing friend Gazerbeam.
A longtime advocate of superhero rights is missing. Gazerbeam.
Bob, it's time to engage!
What started off as a throwback to Golden Age heroics quickly became a spy thriller about the brutal end of an era. Number 39, Lost Soul 22, Soul. It's no accident that the creators of Up and Inside Out took this to existential territory. After Soul 22 finally gets a taste of life on Earth, her spark for living is crushed by self-doubt.
Not good enough. Nope, nothing. I just need to fill out that last box.
Joe's harsh words, joined by the voices of her past mentors, echo through her mind as she spirals into a lost soul.
All you make needs remarkable people, and you are the least remarkable soul I've ever met.
The scene captures with depressing accuracy how negativity can erode our sense of worth. It's also a stark contrast to Joe's epiphany to live life to the fullest. Kids may not fully grasp the weight of this scene, but adults certainly understand the reality of a soul struggling to find a reason to live.
There's no point. You'll never find your spark.
Number 38, The Wolf, Make Mine Music. This take on Peter and the Wolf starts off as a playful musical fable, but its villain turns it into something far darker. The wolf isn't just your typical cartoon character. In fact, he borders on nightmare fuel for kids. With his sharp teeth, yellow and red eyes, and slobbering mouth, the beast radiates menace. Still not scary enough for you? Well, there's also this moment where he devours the duck Sonia in seemingly one gulp. We even see her enter the pearly gates as the characters mourn their loss. She is later revealed to have survived the encounter somehow, but the abrupt death must have scarred some younger children. It is a cruel reminder that even fairy tale danger can be just as frightening as the real thing. Number 37, Gothel Stabs Flynn, Tangled. Gothel may not be as imposing as other villains, but her cruelty knows no bounds. After escaping jail, Flynn Rider returns to Rapunzel's tower to save her. However, Gothel expects this and lays a diversion to fatally stab him from behind. His agonizing death is pretty dour despite the lack of blood. The moment gets even darker when Flynn cuts Rapunzel's magic hair, causing Gothel to rapidly age and fall out the window. She withers away so quickly that her body fully disappears before she hits the ground. For a lighthearted romantic musical, this was a pretty grim climax, even if Flynn's death was ultimately undone. Number 36. Mr. Arrow falls into a black hole. Treasure Planet. Few Disney scenes capture the horrors of outer space like this one. In Treasure Planet, the arachnid alien Scroop commits a chilling act of betrayal. As the RLS Legacy careens toward a black hole, the crew scrambles to secure lifelines and save the ship. Mr. Arrow falls overboard, clinging desperately to his rope, until Scroop comes along and cuts it, sending him plummeting into the abyss. It's one of the most dreadful fates any Disney character has met. What makes it even more disturbing is that Scroop did it out of petty malice. We can only hope that Arrow's spaghettification wasn't too painful.
His lifeline was not secured.
Number 35. Cruella's Dreamcoat, 101 Dalmatians. From the very start, it is clear that Cruella de Vil is not your average Disney villain. While most baddies chase power, fortune, or revenge, Cruella's obsession is bizarrely evil. She wants to skin Dalmatian puppies to make a fur coat.
My only true love, darling. I live for furs. I worship furs.
Her heartlessness can be seen throughout the story. She's willing to steal, kidnap, and outright kill 99 puppies in the name of fashion.
I don't care how you kill the little beast, but do it! And do it now!
Eventually, as her plan unravels, she spirals further into madness, screaming threats and crashing cars in order to get those Dalmatians. We really cannot think of another villain as maniacal as she is. Number 34. Nick's backstory, Zootopia. Before he became a sly con artist, Nick Wilde was just a young fox with dreams. Sadly, he learned at an early age that he'd never be treated fairly. As a kid, Nick wanted nothing more than to join the Junior Ranger Scouts. He thought he finally achieved his dream when he was invited to initiation.
I was going to be part of a pack.
Ready for initiation?
Yeah, pretty much born ready.
I was so proud.
Instead, the troop showed their true colors and forcefully muzzled Nick for simply being a predator. The attack left deep scars, convincing him that he'd only ever be seen as a devious fox.
If you thought we would ever trust a fox without a muzzle, you're even dumber than you look.
Is he gonna cry?
It's a harsh illustration of prejudice and a painful reality that marginalized communities know all too well.
I learned two things that day. One, I was never going to let anyone see that they got to me.
And two?
If the world's only going to see a fox as shifty and untrustworthy, there's no point in trying to be anything else.
Number 33. Doris's Future, Meet the Robinsons. You probably recall this film's bright vision of tomorrow. For a brief moment, though, it reveals how a technological utopia can go wrong. In an effort to ruin Lewis Robinson's life, Mike Yagubian, or Goob, travels back in time to change his fate. He's then betrayed by the robotic hat Doris, who reshapes the future into a grim industrial wasteland.
I call them helping hats.
The once quirky Robinsons are now possessed slaves along with the rest of humanity. Although the original timeline is eventually restored, we will not forget the image of the zombified Robinson family. Seeing them robbed of their colorful personalities is downright eerie. Number 32. Jumper Rescue, The Incredibles. Early in the film, Mr. Incredible saves a man who's falling from a skyscraper. It's a quick save that ultimately had some huge ramifications. Instead of expressing gratitude, the jumper sues Mr. Incredible, claiming that he stopped him from ending his own life.
Stunning turn of events, a superhero is being sued for saving someone who apparently didn't want to be saved.
The lawsuit sparks a public backlash and sets the stage for forced superhero retirement. While this reveal is told in a quick newsreel, it feels alarmingly bleak.
Mr. Sansweet didn't ask to be saved. Mr. Sansweet didn't want to be saved. And the injury received from Mr. Incredible's actions, so-called, causes him daily pain.
Hey, I saved your life!
The daring rescue didn't just go wrong. It offered a glimpse into the legal battles and dark reality of heroism.
Under tremendous public pressure and the crushing financial burden of an ever-mounting series of lawsuits, the government quietly initiated the Superhero Relocation Program. The supers would be granted amnesty from responsibility for past actions, in exchange for the promise to never again resume hero work.
Number 31, Redline's Interrogation, Cars 2. This sequel got mixed reception from Pixar fans. It jumped the shark with its over-the-top spy storyline, but we'll admit that we were caught off guard by this scene. When the American agent Rod Torque Redline is captured, Professor Zundap puts him through a brutal interrogation. The villain pumps Redline full of volatile fuel and slowly primes it with an EMP.
The all in all is now heating to a boil, dramatically expanding, causing the engine block to crack under the stress.
Even for a car, the torment looks excruciating. Once Zundap extracts the information he needs, he heats the fuel to full ignition.
There will be nothing to replace.
How about him? Does he have it?
The resulting blast is only shown in a reflection, but the implication is chilling and far darker than anyone expected from an animated talking car movie. Number 30, Marlin's Tragedy, Finding Nemo. It's frightening how fast life can change. Marlin and Coral are excited about becoming parents to 400 children. However, a ferocious barracuda approaches, ready to make a meal of the eggs.
Coral, don't! They'll be fine. Just get inside, you, right now.
Coral dives to protect the nest, and Marlin is knocked unconscious by the predator. When he awakens, the only ones left are him and a single egg, Nemo.
There. It's okay, Daddy's here. Daddy's got you.
Since that day, Marlin swears to protect his only son from harm. He may be a little too protective, but given how his life was changed in a flash, can you really blame him? And it all happened in the opening scene, no less.
I promise I will never let anything happen to you, Nemo.
Number 29, The Story of the Curious Oysters, Alice in Wonderland. Have you ever wondered why your parents told you not to talk to strangers? A young family of oysters learns the hard way when they meet a seemingly friendly walrus and carpenter.
Oysters, come and walk with us. The day is warm and bright.
The walrus leads them out of their oyster bed for a fun walk along the beach. Sadly, the fun ends when he leads them to a makeshift seaside restaurant, where it turns out the oysters are the special of the day.
Now, if you're ready, oysters dear, we can begin the feed.
We can't help but shudder at how the walrus devours his innocent prey without a second thought. Beyond that, he didn't even leave any for the carpenter. How despicable can you be?
And this was scarcely odd because they'd been eaten. Everyone!
Number 28, The Mob Song, Beauty and the Beast. To save her father, Belle reluctantly tells the villagers about the beast.
My father's not crazy, and I can prove it!
She insists that he's kind and means no harm, but no one will listen to her. They're more interested in Gaston's fear-mongering instead. He rallies the townsfolk into storming Beast's castle.
So it's time to take some action, boys. It's time to follow me.
What makes this scene really scary is the haunting melody they sing while they march through the woods. The chilling tune exposes how hate-filled its singers are. Nothing will stop them until the supposed enemy is wiped out of existence.
Bring your guns, bring your knives, save your children and your wives, to save our village and our lives.
Gaston is easily the most sinister of the bunch for riling everyone up, once again painting a clear image of who the real monster is. Number 27, Rourke's End, Atlantis, the Lost Empire. While seeing the dark side of Milo's expedition team was disheartening, at least the majority of them had a change of heart near the end. Commander Rourke, on the other hand, remained rotten and greedy to the core.
Well, I have to hand it to you. You're a bigger pain in the neck than I would have ever thought possible.
During the final battle, Karma finally catches up to him as Milo wounds him with a shard of mystical glass. His skin slowly turns to crystal as he twists in agony. Just when you think he's had enough, he emerges as a crystal lava monster and is shoved through the ship's propellers and shredded to pieces. It might seem like overkill, but given how he terrorized Milo and the Atlanteans, we think it couldn't have happened to a nicer guy.
Thank heaven.
Number 26. The Evil Queen's Transformation. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. So much for the fairest one of all.
Magic mirror on the wall. Who now is the fairest one of all?
In an effort to dispose of Snow White, the evil queen is willing to disguise herself as an old hag in this classically haunting scene. She gathers some creepy ingredients to craft her disguise potion and drinks the creation in one gulp.
Now, begin thy magic spell.
The animation adds to the dark tone as each ingredient sends a shiver down our spine. The transformation is quick but eerie, as her hair turns white and her skin withers with age. It's fitting how her outer appearance as a horrid witch reflects her bitter jealousy and ugly schemes.
Perfect disguise.
Number 25. Oogie Comes Undone, The Nightmare Before Christmas. Throughout this holiday mashup film, Oogie Boogie is a ghoulish presence. His powerful, snazzy voice alone is enough to send shivers down our spines.
You're joking! You're joking! I can't believe my eyes!
But his demise is what sticks with us. During the final battle, Jack has had enough. He pulls on a loose thread, causing Oogie's burlap body to come undone, revealing a colony of insects underneath.
Now look what you've done! My bugs! My bugs! My bugs! My bugs!
The insects begin falling into the fiery pit, screeching in torment. The terror finally ends when Santa squishes the very last bug, literally stamping out the eerie hive mind. It's satisfying, but still shudder-inducing.
Forgive me, Mr. Claus. I'm afraid I've made a terrible mess of your holiday.
Number 24. Olivia's Abduction, The Great Mouse Detective. Everything seems normal in this scene as Basil, Dawson, and Olivia investigate a toy store for clues about a scheme by the villainous Ratigan.
Someone has taken the liberty of removing the clockwork mechanisms from these toys.
But the darkness creeps in when we see a sinister figure watching them from the shadows. Ratigan's henchman Fidget gives Olivia and us a fright when he pops out and snatches the young mouse. He stuffs her into a bag and bests Basil and Dawson using the toys at his disposal. The innocent setting of the toy store makes for a creative but creepy scene.
Olivia, she's
gone, Dawson!
It's only fitting for the work of a criminal mastermind and his dastardly assistant. Number 23. Shan Yu's Message, Mulan. Shan Yu may be a villain of few words, but the ones he chooses are definitely impactful. In this scene, the Huns have invaded China and have captured 2 Imperial scouts.
Nice work, gentlemen. You found the Hun army.
Shan Yu tells the 2 scouts to deliver the message of his arrival, but he has one more menacing trick up his sleeve. It only takes 1 man to deliver a message.
How many men does it take to deliver a message?
His archer takes aim, and the screen cuts to black. It's not too hard to imagine what happens next, and the smash cut heightens the evil implications. This moment, along with the villain's introductory scene, cements Shan Yu's status as one of the most intimidating Disney villains of all time. Number 22. Tadashi is Blown Up, Big Hero 6. Disney certainly isn't shy when it comes to killing off family members, but Tadashi's death is particularly violent. After a fire breaks out at the university, Tadashi tries saving Professor Callahan by rushing into the burning building.
Tadashi, no!
Callahan's in there. Someone has to help.
Unfortunately, the building explodes while he's inside, and the shockwave knocks Hiro to the ground. The death of a close family member is already tragic and traumatic. What makes this even worse is that it happens right before Hiro's very eyes. At least Tadashi went out a hero. No pun intended. Number 21. The Firebird, Fantasia 2000. This sequel came a full 60 years after the iconic original. Like 1940s Fantasia, Fantasia 2000 combines animated segments and classical music. The final segment of the movie is scored to Igor Stravinsky's The Firebird, and as the name suggests, it is absolutely terrifying. In the short, a forest sprite proceeds to a volcano and awakens some type of violent volcanic spirit, who proceeds to wreck the nearby forest. The spirit takes the form of a massive fire-breathing bird with yellow eyes before turning into a lava flow that sets fire to the forest. The visuals are haunting enough, but it's Stravinsky's music that really gives the scene its horrific tone. Number 20. The Ghost of Christmas Future, Mickey's Christmas Carol.
Who are you? Are you the ghost of Christmas Future?
The Ghost of Christmas Future is always pretty terrifying. Disney continued the tradition with Mickey's Christmas Carol, a short animated featurette that sees beloved Disney characters acting out a Christmas carol. The Ghost of Christmas Future is portrayed by Mickey Mouse's nemesis Pete. Pete first appears shrouded in a hood before taking it off and throwing Ebenezer into the grave.
Whose lonely grave is this? Why, yours, Ebenezer. The richest man in the cemetery!
A flaming coffin opens and spews fire towards Ebenezer, and Pete laughs as hellish red smoke swirls around him. It's a haunting and sinister sight for the kids who are at home watching on TV. Number 19. Hellfire, The Hunchback of Notre Dame. The 34th animated Disney movie tends to get less love than the other classics of the Disney Renaissance. But it contains one of the all-time great villain songs in Hellfire. It's sung by Judge Claude Frollo, who is fighting his lustful and obsessive feelings towards Esmeralda.
Hellfire, this fire in my skin.
The subject matter itself is dark and mature, and reportedly made Disney executives quite nervous. It also nearly cost the movie its G rating, as the MPAA was considering a PG.
He made the devil so much stronger than a man.
And that's not surprising considering the hellish imagery, mature subject matter, and lyrics like,
Destroy Esmeralda and let her taste the fires of hell.
Number 18. The Headless Horseman, The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad. Serving as one of Disney's package films, The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad contain two individual segments, one based on The Wind in the Willows, the other on The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. The story is well known for containing one of the most famous villains in literature, the Headless Horseman. Disney did not shy away from the character's scarier aspects, as he appears with a terrifying laugh, a horse with red eyes, a billowing purple cape, and a flaming skull. The resulting chase is the stuff of nightmares, complete with the horseman's shrieks, sword attacks, and unsettling music composed by Disney veteran Oliver Wallace. Number 17. Facilier is dragged into the spirit world, The Princess and the Frog. Facilier is one of the more entertaining Disney villains. He's perfectly played by the always excellent Keith David, and Friends on the Other Side is a great bit of jazz pop. Facilier's villain song is later reprised when he's taken to the voodoo spirit realm.
No, I'm not ready at all. Get back. I've got lots more plans.
The scene is extremely unsettling, as creepy purple-eyed spirits and shadow figures emerge to surround Facilier, who's then dragged into the glowing green mouth of a giant voodoo mask. The imagery is like something out of a surreal nightmare, and the pulsing drums add an ominous tone to the proceedings. The spirits ask Facilier if he's ready, but no one could possibly be ready for this.
I promise I'll pay your back. I promise.
Number 16. Frollo tries to kill Quasimodo, The Hunchback of Notre Dame. This is certainly one of the darkest Disney films, and it opens in a deeply disturbing manner.
Judge Claude Frollo, the bells of Notre Dame.
Judge Claude Frollo is instantly depicted as one of the nastiest Disney villains of all time, as he kills a Romany woman and attempts to do the same to her baby by throwing it down a well. Had it not been for the intervening archdeacon, Frollo would have done it. Disney movies are often perceived as fun, lighthearted entertainment for children. The Hunchback of Notre Dame begins with cold-blooded murder on the steps of a church, creepy choral music, and trying to send a baby to hell. Frollo's words, not ours.
Stop! Cried the Archdeacon.
This is an unholy demon. I'm sending it back to hell.
Number 15, Night on Bald Mountain, Fantasia. As vicious as the fight between the T-Rex and Stegosaurus is in the Rite of Spring segment, Chernabog and his minions are on a whole other level. This one closes out Fantasia on an unsettling note. Set to Modest Mussorgsky's Night on Bald Mountain, this segment sees Chernabog and evil spirits running amok on a mountain in the middle of the night. Chernabog's mountain lair is imposing, as is his physical design, complete with a gargoyle-like appearance and yellow eyes. The floating skeletal figures are even creepier, and the scene eventually escalates into an all-out fever dream. It's artistically brilliant, but also very, very creepy. Number 14, The Horned King's Army, The Black Cauldron. This movie was the first to receive a PG rating owing to, quote, some scary images, according to the MPAA. The rating undoubtedly comes from the Horned King and his personal army known as the Cauldron-born. Together, they make for some of the most formidable and frightening antagonists in the Disney canon. The scene where the Horned King summons the Cauldron-born still sends chills down our spines. The first thing we see emerge is a wide-eyed, screaming head that melts into a skull. It then turns into a green mist that raises the dead. The bump from G to PG really isn't surprising.
Oh, it's horrible.
My beloved warriors have come to life.
Number 13, The Maleficent Dragon, Sleeping Beauty. Throughout Sleeping Beauty, Maleficent is portrayed as creepy and imposing, what with her black and purple robes, horns, yellow eyes, and green skin. But that sinister exterior is hiding something far more threatening. At the climax of the movie, Prince Philip storms the castle with the Sword of Truth and Shield of Virtue, and Maleficent turns into a massive dragon to confront him. Even watching it over a half-century later, this scene still terrifies. The prince's bewildered and frightened face says it all. Number 12, The Burnt Down Village, Mulan. Mulan contains one of the most surprising and abrupt tonal shifts in the Disney canon. As the soldiers set out, they sing the cheerful "A Girl Worth Fighting For." It's quite a fun song, and it shows the soldiers at their chummiest. And just when the viewer is relaxing and enjoying the cute song, the movie throws a wicked curveball. The characters come across the site of a massacre, complete with burnt-out buildings, raging fires, a sea of corpses, and worst of all, a cuddly doll that once belonged to a child. It is an unexpected depiction of the unimaginable horrors of war.
The General.
Number 11, Aurora Gets Hypnotized, Sleeping Beauty. The Maleficent dragon wasn't the only scary scene in Sleeping Beauty. Aurora is lulled into her famous sleep after being hypnotized by Maleficent and made to prick her finger on the cursed spindle. The entire sequence is eerie, with Maleficent unleashing a green light from the fireplace, which Aurora follows in a wide-eyed trance. The scene also owes a lot to the foreboding music that plays as Aurora climbs the stairs.
Touch the spindle. Touch it, I say.
It is a masterpiece of tension building, and it remains every bit as effective as it was in 1959. Number 10, The Furnace, Toy Story 3. Woody and the gang find themselves out of the frying pan and into the fire when they escape Sunnyside Daycare, only to find themselves at the landfill. As they slowly head towards the incinerator, they plead for Lotso to help them, only for the underhanded bear to smugly leave them to die.
Where's your kid now, Sheriff? No! No!
The toys grab hold of each other's hands and await their fiery demise. After everything these toys have been through, it's both terrifying and heartbreaking to watch them just accept their fate. Thankfully, they're rescued at the last minute, and we can all breathe a sigh of relief. Number 9. The Bear Attack, The Fox and the Hound. In this movie, based on a 1967 novel, a heartwarming friendship takes a dark turn. When Todd, a red fox, becomes best friends with Copper, a hound dog, he thinks their friendship will last forever. Unfortunately, though, Copper is a hunting dog, and when the two reach adulthood, Copper turns on him. During the chase, however, hunter Amos Slade becomes the hunted when a massive bear with glowing red eyes attacks. What follows is a tense and scary sequence in which Copper and Todd team up to defeat the much larger predator. For young kids, this scene proved more than a little frightful. Number 8. Giant Ursula, The Little Mermaid. Basically, everything about Ursula is blood-curdling. Her octopus bottom half and gangly trapped souls are positively chilling. Her final gigantic form, however, is particularly nerve-wracking, especially the image of her massive head rising from the water. Giant Ursula is the stuff of nightmares, complete with accompanying lightning and thunder, and the hollow, echoey voice that makes her sound demonic. And while villain demises are always quite satisfactory, Ursula's is more than a little disturbing, as she's violently impaled on a ship's bowsprit. Of all the places for the Little Mermaid to go, Kraken Ursula was a surprising turn of events. Number 7. Pink Elephants on Parade, Dumbo. Disney knew exactly what they were doing with the pink elephants. Seeing pink elephants is a euphemism for alcohol-related hallucinations, used since the early 1900s. When Dumbo and Timothy get drunk on champagne, the euphemism becomes literal. And it's actually really creepy.
Pink elephants on parade, here they come, hippity-hoppity. They're here, and there are pink elephants everywhere.
Known as Pink Elephants on Parade, the scene sees Dumbo and Timothy experiencing disturbing visions, including multiplying pink elephants that play instruments, step on each other, and smash each other in giant cymbals. And that's just in the first minute. And to think, this predated the psychedelic era by 20 years.
What a sight! Chase 'em away! Chase 'em away! I'm afraid, need your aid, pink elephants on parade!
Number 6. The Shoe Dip, Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Blending live action and hand-drawn animation, Who Framed Roger Rabbit was a monumental success, grossing $329 million and winning a Special Achievement Academy Award for its groundbreaking visuals. It also contains what is undoubtedly the scariest scene in a live-action Disney film. To frighten the Toons into compliance, Judge Doom decides to make an example of a poor defenseless shoe with a concoction known as the Dip.
Remember how we always thought there wasn't a way to kill a Toon? Well, Doom found the way. Turpentine, acetone, benzene. He calls it the Dip.
He slowly dips the shoe into the liquid, forcing audiences to watch it panic and squirm around in pain as it slowly melts to death. Needless to say, this scene is firmly ingrained in the memories of 80s kids the world over. Number 5. Hopper and the Birds, A Bug's Life. After years of oppression, the ant colony finally stands up to Hopper and prepares to send him flying off their hill.
Happy landings, Hopper!
But the plan starts to come undone as rain begins falling. The villainous Hopper confronts Flick.
You think it's over? No, I can explain.
But before he can cause any more harm, Hopper finds himself face to face with his worst fear. A hungry bird. The grasshopper tries to flee, but the bird snatches him up and feeds him to her chicks, finally ending his reign of terror. While we don't see him being chomped up, the ant's horrified expressions and the POV shots of him being lowered to his doom tell us all we need to know. Number 4. Clayton's Demise, Tarzan. As seen throughout this list, Disney isn't afraid of depicting some rather grim and violent ends. But Clayton's death in Tarzan may prove a little much owing to its eerie realism.
I can use a challenge, because after I get rid of you, rounding up your little ape family will be all too easy!
After chopping his way through vines, Clayton falls from the treetops and accidentally hangs himself when a vine wraps itself around his neck. While viewers don't actually see the hanging itself, they do see the shadow of Clayton's dangling torso and legs, an upsetting image punctuated by thunder and lightning.
Wait, don't!
It makes for gorgeous animation, but is definitely a dark and disturbing moment that lingers in your memory. Number 3. Lampwick's transformation, Pinocchio. The Pleasure Island segment of Pinocchio is incredibly twisted. It depicts children enjoying adult vices, including gambling, drinking, and smoking. They are then punished by being turned into donkeys. Oh, yeah, and the donkeys then become slaves and are sent into salt mines and the circus. Lampwick's transformation is particularly frightening. Things begin, funnily enough, with Lampwick growing ridiculous ears and a tail. But then things get downright horrifying, with a terrified Lampwick begging for help as he transitions into a braying donkey. The creepy music and sound effects certainly do not help.
Mother!
Number 2. Bambi's mother dies. Bambi. The death of Bambi's mother is still considered one of the saddest scenes in movie history, and for good reason. For many kids, the movie was their introduction to the very idea that one day they would lose their parents, or even that death was a part of life. Bambi and his mother are simply foraging for food and minding their own business when the unnamed man shows up and shoots Bambi's mother, leaving grieving and alone.
We made it, Mother! Mother!
It's extremely dark material for a children's movie.
Your mother can't be with you anymore.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Scar kills Mufasa, the Lion King. Simba's father's demise takes everything that was tragic about Bambi's mother's death and multiplies it by about 1 million, with a terrifying stampede and some cold-blooded fratricide. After the nail-biting stampede sequence, things look up when both Mufasa and Simba escape. That is, until Scar digs his claws in and pushes Mufasa to his death.
Long live the king.
The murder itself is tough to watch, but it's Simba's reaction to Mufasa's body that has everyone shedding tears.
Dad? Dad, come on. You gotta get up. Dad, we gotta go home.
It's enough to traumatize younger audience members, and to have adults hitting fast forward to skip the scene. Scar later suffers a gruesome fate when the hyenas turn on him, in another surprisingly dark scene.
Friends? I thought he said we were the enemy.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Ed?
No, let me explain.
Were any of these scenes too dark for children? Let us know which moment you think crossed the line down in the comments below.